The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch. And it fell on the rivers and on the springs of life. The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water because it had been made bitter. The third trumpet event is, from our human perspective, potentially one of the most exciting and definitive scientific events seen in Earth's cosmological development. Trumpet 3 sees a star significantly influencing life on Earth and its future development. Indeed, there is a star, a great star, being observed. It's not just luminous, but blazing like a torch. Where torches are very bright, were used as lights back in the day. One may think of a street light or perhaps a spotlight. So overall, this is not some small, non-luminous twinkling star of the storybook variety. Past being bright, the star seemingly disintegrates or falls on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. There could be some debris of some kind or cosmic wave involved, as it apparently affects the fresh water or drinking water of Earth. Lastly, the net effect has the star somehow poisoning beings on the Earth. There's a type of food or water poisoning. So potentially we have a bright star, a wave, and poisoning. There are further clues into what John leaves out in Revelation. No, there is no discussion as to impact or smoke, as there is in the falling star or asteroid of Trumpet 5 in chapter 9, yet to be discussed. This asteroid in chapter 9 falls out of heaven, but is not noted as being torch-like. It also falls into the land, and smoke is cited 4 times in chapter 9. But here, the chapter 8 star is different. To recapitulate, according to John's given information, the chapter 8 star is a falling star that is disproportionately bright, that potentially disintegrates and does not necessarily directly impact the Earth or cause smoke fallout, yet it poisons Earth's inhabitants at the time. This leaves us with few alternatives. Perhaps it is a supernova. Indeed, some in the scientific community are theorizing that this is the exact case. Scientists tell us a nearby supernova event, say 30 light years away or closer, would induce a mass extinction from radiation, destroying the ozone layer and allowing further ultraviolet radiation to damage life on the surface. Such a potential event described by Revelation to be taken seriously by science would also have to fit a chronology after the creation of the Earth some 4.6 billion years ago, and after significant volcanism and plate tectonic activity, which we've discussed, which began some 500 to 800 million years ago. Alas, early Earth scientists and cosmologists alike point to the supernova event clearly defined as taking place some 369 million years ago. This particular supernova and its remnant chemicals especially impacted freshwater. This, of course, had an enormous effect on life and its development. In scientific terms, we're describing the late Devonian extinction event, sometimes called the Hagenberg event. Many don't realize many heavy elements such as gold and silver are brought to us via supernova cosmic dust. So past all the exciting information regarding supernova, we have to bring ourselves back to the developmental aspects. and the creationary aspects of a supernova. It's important to understand that the heat and pressure, the unbelievable force in a supernova explosion, creates and spreads new periodic table of elements. Resultingly, all of the periodic table heavy elements are initiated from supernova explosions from across the universe and over the eons. A supernova then is not an ending point, but a developmental creationary beginning point. The luxuries we possess and the tech-based novelties we enjoy cannot exist without supernova heavy elements. With the science overview potentially supporting Revelation 8 verses 10 and 11, we need to address yet again accurate ancient Greek literature. Clearly the word anthropos, man or human or people, as seen as Revelation 8:10, is problematic, and thus we need to inspect the term most carefully. The word seems out of place considering an early Earth hypothesis, such as our own here. Close inspection of the Codex Alexandrinus from the 400s indicates the word anthropos does not appear in Revelation 8:11 whatsoever. Instead, in its place are 4 Greek letters with apparent dots above it. This is believed by some scholars that the dots infer an abbreviation is being utilized. However, it appears the scholars cannot say definitively what the dots mean, or definitively if an abbreviation is even being used. Perhaps the 4 letters found where anthropos should be are simply a loose approximation for the term man, for the meaning of the term man. Our findings were similar as applied to the Codex Sinaiticus, which was written in the mid-300s. And of course, we account for the use of any literary abbreviations or nomina sacra, as they are called. Past the 2 earliest copies of Revelation seen with the Codex Alexandrinus and the Codex Sinaiticus is the Papyrus 115, Papyrus 115. It's dated in the early to mid-200s. Yet again, the term man or anthropos is not present, and then instead, academics assume a short 4-letter term. However, inspection of the relevant portion of Papyrus 115 renders inconclusive evidence, to say the least. In conclusion, as it relates to Revelation 8, verses 10 and 11, Trumpet 3, A, the scientific theorization and evidence for a supernova wave impact is mounting, and B, the academic inspection of ancient Greek manuscripts also necessitates clarification. Together, both these elements join to support a potential revelation creation account.